Hey everyone, welcome back to the Thinking Crypto channel, your home for crypto news and interviews. Guys, there's a lot of capital flowing into the crypto market. I have some big news for you. We have a Bitcoin miner raising $500 million to buy more Bitcoin and to buy more mining equipment. This is so bullish. I'm going to break it down. And remember, when Bitcoin does well, the rest of the market would do well. The altcoins follow Bitcoin's move. So very bullish news here. We also have two major investment firms that are raising hundreds of millions of dollars to invest in crypto. And remember, they're investing in the assets as well as the companies building the infrastructure for the crypto market. And we need proper infrastructure for the ecosystem to grow, for adoption, right? We're also going to talk about the VanEck Bitcoin Futures ETF. It's going live tomorrow. So this is bullish. We also have some big news around Galaxy Digital and their earnings, and some more very bullish news, guys. Lots of capital flowing into the market. So I want to share the details with you. Before we get there, please go ahead and hit the thumbs up button, leave a comment below, and hit the subscribe button if you're new here. It helps support the channel and it doesn't cost you anything. Guys, this video is brought to you by OKCoin Crypto Exchange, where you can buy, sell, and trade your favorite cryptocurrencies and you don't have to pay high fees. OKCoin charges low fees. You can also stake your crypto and keep 100% of the rewards. There are no fees charged, so be sure to sign up, link in the description. Heads up, my interview with Charles Hoskinson, the founder of Cardano and the co-founder of Ethereum, will be live in the morning. You don't want to miss this interview, guys. It's really good. Charles and I go through a lot with Cardano, what's happening, what they're doing in Africa, with Dish, with Boost Mobile, the upcoming partnerships and so forth. So you don't want to miss this, guys. Make sure you got the notification bell enabled. Also, earlier today, I uploaded my interview with Dr. Saifedean Ammous, who's the author of the Bitcoin Standard and his new book, The Fiat Standard. So be sure to check that out as well. It talks about Bitcoin and the economics around it and the growth and so forth. All right, let's look at the market here. We are seeing a pullback across the board. But those of you who have been subscribers to my channel and you've been watching my videos or listening on the podcast, what have I been calling for weeks? Since October, I've been saying we need to see that pullback because we had some really bullish green candles all the way up to about 61,000, 62,000. And then we saw a weak red candle and we saw some weak green candles from there. Now we're starting to see a strong red candle form here on the weekly chart for Bitcoin. Why is this important, you may ask? Nothing goes up in a straight line. Just remember that. If you never watch any of my videos ever again, just understand market cycles. Nothing goes up in a straight line. You need to build support levels and you need to retest price levels. So this is what Bitcoin's doing here. So if this week is a red candle week, that is good. Not a lot of people will give you that context because there are people who are super bearish and there's people who are super bullish. But while I'm bullish on the macro level, I understand on the micro level, it cannot go up in a straight line and we need to test. So here, this red candle forming is a good thing, right? I tweeted about it today. This is what I was calling for since this weak red candle formed in October. And now here we see a strong red candle. So Bitcoin could go down to maybe 59,000 or so. We bounce up and then we head to new all-time highs. I think 84, 85,000 could be the next high. And if this week is the red candle corrective state, building that support level, maybe next week we see a pump. I don't know. Or it just goes into next week as another red candle week. Regardless, that is okay. So when in doubt, zoom out and you'll see these patterns have repeated before as Bitcoin has run up since, look at this. Look at this here back in December into Q1 of this year, and then pullback, pump, pullback, pump, pullback, and so on and so forth. Then you had a major correction, obviously, and we're double peaking like we did in 2013. So pump, pullback, pump, pullback. Pump coming to new all-time highs, pullback. And this is where we'll want to watch things closely because maybe this takes us to 100K, maybe it doesn't, maybe we'll have another pump after that, and then we see that blow off top. So let's make sure we keep our emotions at the door and just look at the charts and look at the patterns. You'll see them repeat over and over. So that's why we want to watch this closely, guys. So here's what Tech Dev had to say: calm before the storm, enjoy the peace. So in this phase, this sideways movement into a corrective state, this happened in November into December of last year. Before in December, excuse me, right before in December, we had that epic pump into Q1, as I mentioned. So a similar pattern is forming here, and we could see a massive pump towards the end of the year, but that's not guaranteed. So I want to make sure I say that, because people sometimes come back and say, dude, you said it was going to pump. Well, it's probabilities here, guys. No one knows the future here, but we can use this data and the charts to speculate as to what may happen. So let's see how things play out. All right, guys, check this out. Michael Burry, obviously the man made one of the biggest bets in the history of the world, shorting the real estate mortgage market, of course, and he made a ton of money. He was certainly going against the grain, right? And then the 2008 financial crash proved him correct. Well, he's been trying to short Bitcoin and Tesla and a whole bunch of other stuff. But I want to remind you, just because he was right then doesn't mean he's right all the time. No one is right all the time, right? And he's been trying to really go after Tesla and Bitcoin. And here's what Elon Musk tweeted about what Burry had to say. So an article from Bloomberg stated that Burry thinks Elon Musk just wants to sell Tesla. And obviously Elon's been selling some of his stock, talking about taxes and so forth. Well, Elon said, Burry is a broken clock. And remember, a broken clock is right, what is it, 2 times per day? Yeah. So just keep that in mind, guys. Because I do see Burry sometimes, he's ranting on Twitter, going nuts a little bit. So I don't know what's up with him, but I respect the guy. Once again, he made one of the biggest bets. And if you saw the movie The Big Short, he was, of course, a big part of that. So he's been wrong also on Bitcoin and trying to short it. So let's move ahead here, guys. All right, Paradigm launches $2.5 billion venture fund for crypto companies. Let me pause there and let that number sink into your mind. $2.5 billion. Not hundreds of thousands, not millions, billions, guys. We are playing on another level field right now. He said, just the beginning, hundreds of billions of dollars in fresh capital are going to pour into the market over the next few years to back the next wave of crypto and Web3 entrepreneurs. We are still very early, my friends. And remember what I've said many times, right? These companies and these venture funds and so forth, they have the ability to invest in both the assets as well as the companies. And I've said, a lot of times, like I said, countless times, that I wish I was an accredited investor so I can double dip, because they can make money on both ends. So right now, you and I have the ability to hold the assets. Can we invest in some of these companies? No, you got to be accredited, go through the funds. But once this year peaks and I start taking profit, maybe I will be in that accredited investor category, guys. So let me give you some details. This new fund and its size are reflective of crypto being the most exciting frontier in technology, said Paradigm co-founders Matt Young and Fred Ersham in a blog post. Web3 applications have grown to reach tens of millions of users, yet are still a far cry from the billions of Web2 users. The journey is just beginning, and the potential of crypto has never been more clear. For those of you listening who are on the fence about crypto, how do you see this and not just jump in and realize what is happening? The same disruptive technology that the internet was, and we saw it started in the 90s and into dial-up phase, and then it eventually went to broadband, faster, more efficient, more flushed out products, and then became a major part of our lives. And then came Web 2.0, and then you had social networks and all kinds of different technologies, right? Now we're going to Web 3, which will include NFTs, crypto, the Metaverse, and all kinds of things, AI and so forth, guys. The disruption's happening again, the next wave of technological revolution. So I hope you guys see what is happening here. These are the facts, right? These companies are raising a ridiculous amount of money. So bullish, guys. Now check this out. And this is so bullish for this market cycle specifically. Marathon to offer $500 million notes to buy more Bitcoin and miners. Marathon is one of the largest publicly traded Bitcoin miners in the US and has approximately 133,120 miners. Now, many of you may recognize the face here, Fred Thiel, who's the CEO. I interviewed him months back. Let me pull the video up here for you guys. Yes, 5 months ago, I interviewed Fred. Marathon, once again, one of the largest Bitcoin miners in the US. And guys, I want you to think about this. They are not selling any of the Bitcoin they're mining. And what they're doing, and they're publicly traded, by the way, they're going and raising a $500 million bond. They're going to take that money and buy more miners and also buy more Bitcoin. I want you to think about that. Why would they not be selling what they're mining? They're waiting for higher prices. Right now, we're at an all-time high, guys, 60-something thousand dollars Bitcoin. They could sell a lot and make millions easily, right? But they're holding because they know higher prices are coming. Institutions and the retail mania are going to pay to buy all of that Bitcoin, guys. That is so bullish. These people are hodling and their business is mining Bitcoin. So they have to make a profit. They have to keep the lights on, right? All right, let me give you some more details. The convertible securities will be a private offering of 5-year notes to qualified institutional buyers. Initial purchasers will also have the option to buy an additional $75 million principal amount of notes, and investors can convert the notes to common stock in certain circumstances and during specified periods, the release stated. The notes will be senior. Unsecured obligations of Marathon will accrue interest payable semi-annually in arrears and will mature on December 1st, 2026, unless earlier repurchased, redeemed, or converted, the release stated. Marathon is a digital asset technology company that mines crypto and focuses on blockchain ecosystem and generation of digital asset, it said. The company is one of the largest publicly traded Bitcoin miners in the US and has approximately 133,120 miners. It plans to produce around 13.3 exahashes of hashing power and fully deploy that rate by July 2022. Last week, the company reported its third quarter earnings revenue, total revenue rose 76% from $29.3 million in the second quarter of 2021 to $51.7 million in the most recent quarter. Separately, Marathon's investment fund also purchased 4,812.66 Bitcoin for about $150 million in January, and the value rose $58.8 million within the first 9 months of having it, the earnings report said. Wow, guys. I mean, my goodness. They're buying, they're mining, they're buying, they're getting more equipment. I hope you see what's happening here and the economics of what they're doing. And remember, MicroStrategy is doing the same thing. They're raising junk bonds and all kinds of stuff to buy more Bitcoin. That means they see higher prices on the horizon and they're buying it even at these high prices and just hodling it, just holding on the books, right? And eventually, the institutions are going to come knocking on the door. Hey, we want the Bitcoin. We want the Bitcoin. And who knows? Maybe central banks in other countries. We'll see what happens. But this is very, very bullish. All right, let's move ahead. VanEck's Bitcoin futures ETF set to launch Tuesday. Excuse me. So that's tomorrow. The fund is this is weird. Fund to hit U.S. market days after SEC denied the firm's proposed Bitcoin spot product. So, a couple of things. VanEck, legacy, well-known firm. They got their spot ETF denied. We covered that news last week. Well, they did get approved for the futures. We know Gensler is handing out futures ETF approvals like candy. So they're what is it, like the 5th to go live here? We had other companies go live as well. And you guys may have seen my interview with Gabor Gurbax from VanEck. We talked about a month ago. I'll put that interview in the description, guys. Here it is. Whoop, let me pull it up here. I just passed it. Here it is. VanEck's Bitcoin ETF. He talks about it, how it works, why is it good for the market, so on and so forth. So they're going to go live tomorrow. Let's see what happens. But like I said, this week could be a red candle week, so that's okay. All right, check this out. Galaxy Digital Q3 earnings exceed $500 million, $1.2 billion year to date. Look at the money these guys are making. This is Mike Novogratz, by the way. Here's a quote. It's hard not to be bullish on crypto, Galaxy CEO Mike Novogratz said on the company's earnings call. It's pretty remarkable earnings power that this industry is providing us. Now, as you can imagine, the other folks who are not here yet or who haven't taken a larger position, they're seeing this and they see the inflation, they see the other financial products failing. Lots of money coming, my friends. Lots of more money. Like I started the video with the paradigm news of billions of dollars being raised. More of it's coming, guys. You can imagine these guys are meeting in their conference rooms and their board meetings and looking to take a larger position. So get ready. This is so bullish. Now, speaking of Galaxy Digital, BitGo, which Galaxy Digital acquired earlier this year, and the largest crypto acquisition, I think at $1.2 billion, if I'm not mistaken, or $2 billion for BitGo. They purchased BitGo, of course. But here, BitGo tops $64 billion under custody as COO Casey Lynchner takes over as trust president. The surge in asset under custody, BitGo held $16 billion a year ago, was attributed to the stampede of institutional investors. Wow. If that doesn't tell you, once again, another sign, another indication of how much money these companies are holding. And we even talked about Grayscale last week. They're holding $60 billion of assets under management. So it's amazing what is happening. So as mentioned, Mike Novogratz's firm, Galaxy Digital, purchased them, and they're seeing lots of business. And of course, you guys may recall my interview with Mike Belshi, who's the CEO from a month ago. If you haven't seen it, check it out. He's one of the guys from the internet boom. He was at Netscape with Mark Andreessen and Ben Horowitz and those guys. Now, look at this, more money. Valkyrie to launch $100 million DeFi-focused hedge fund. Think about this. Hedge funds before crypto existed, and they were investing in other financial markets and assets. Now there's hedge funds dedicated to crypto. Man, once again, I think a lot of people are missing out what's on this, guys. They're focused on meme stocks or just reading headlines. They're not seeing the building and the smart money who are setting up shop, collecting billions and starting their capital placements and investments. And that's why I've said many times, you and I are very lucky. We're here early. These are the facts, guys. I'm not making this up. I'm not dreaming it up. The money is coming in. That's why you have all these funds that are popping up now. So the fund's management team sees opportunities to invest in Ethereum, Avalanche, Solana, Binance Smart Chain, Magic, and Phantom, among other protocols. Upcoming launch to come after the firm brought to the market the second ever Bitcoin futures ETF in the United States. So Valkyrie is a pretty big legacy player as well. So the Valkyrie on-chain DeFi fund invests in a couple of dozen protocols across 13 blockchains. Wes Cohen, the firm's managing director of DeFi, told Blockworks in an email, the offerings management team believes opportunities exist across major DeFi 1.0 and 2.0 protocols, including Ethereum, Avalanche, Solana, the ones I mentioned before. So set to launch on November 22nd. It will be available to accredited investors. There's that key factor again, right? Going back to my statement, I wish I was an accredited investor because I would be putting my money into this in addition to holding the tokens. So accredited investors in the US as well as abroad, and a total of $75 million has already been secured. In addition to investing in DeFi tokens, the fund will hold assets on chain. And obviously they're looking to target $100 million. They're 75% there already, right? With $75 million in there. So So bullish, guys. So bullish. Check this out. Senator Lummis of Wyoming, she's, of course, a Bitcoin holder, and Wyden introduced a bill to narrow new tax rules for crypto brokers. So I'm sure this is aimed at the infrastructure bill, which includes the stupid laws in there. Our bill makes it clear that the new reporting requirements do not apply to individuals developing blockchain technology and wallets. So I will be interviewing Senator Lummis in about the end of the month or so. So stay tuned for that, guys. I got some great interviews coming for you so you can hear directly from these people. Denelle Dixon, CEO and executive director at Stellar Development Foundation, she tweeted about the infrastructure bill. Obviously, that's becoming or signed to become into law. We know that the crypto requirements and reporting and taxation is not going to go into effect till 2024. So we have time to fight it. And this is why Senator Lummis and what they're doing is really going to help. We got to fight it. We got to lobby and so forth. But here's what she had to say about this, which I think was pretty good. She said, today, President Biden signed the bipartisan infrastructure deal. It includes many good and needed improvements to physical infrastructure in the US. What's missing? Clear language defining brokers that is workable for our industry. It is unfortunate that a bill that invests so much in the last century's technologies is harmful to the next century. It's a good point. Despite the hard work of members, including Senators Ron Wyden and Senator Toomey, Senator Lummis in August, and Representatives Darren Soto and Ro Khanna this fall, the deal officially includes a definition of brokers that's unworkable for fostering innovation in blockchain and crypto. To be clear, we are not anti-taxes on cryptocurrency gains. We are pro-clarity on the language of how it gets reported. As written, the current language could impose tax reporting obligations on actors who aren't able to comply. The bid takes effect in 2023, so we've got about a year to fix its definition of a broker. We'll do everything we can to make sure it's still possible to operate blockchain technology in the US, and we want to be a resource to legislators and regulators, and our door is open. Legislation should balance the need for regulation with the need to encourage innovation. Good policy results from open conversations and public-private partnership. We'll continue to work with legislators and regulators to get this fixed. So once again, this is the reason why I share this with you, is just so you guys know there's hope here, right? Because this doesn't, even though this infrastructure bill is signed, it's not going to affect right away. So we have time to fight. And I see some of these senators doing their thing. I think a lot more of these crypto folks here, obviously Danielle is at Stellar, where they're going to start lobbying. And I think we'll get this fixed before it goes into effect. Look at this, guys. Finally, I want to end with this. Historic. Barbados is set to become the first nation to establish an embassy in the metaverse. Guys, we are headed to that token economy like we've been talking about for years. Tokenization and, the metaverse is going to benefit a lot from crypto. Crypto will help it to really grow and get adoption, because people are going to be able to earn in the metaverse and a lot of incentives, guys. So we see almost every company now is looking to build their metaverse. Disney and Microsoft and obviously Facebook, they rebranded to Meta. Obviously for me, I know like a lot of us have the knee-jerk reaction like, dude, I'm not going to be in the metaverse, screw that, right? But I think the next generation is, guys. Now, I have a daughter, and I'm hoping that, I will teach her to have a balance, right? Because I think balance is the thing. Hey, you need in-person interaction. You need to be outdoors. You need to spend time outside. You need to meet people face-to-face and have real conversations, right? And yes, if you want to hang out in the metaverse at some time, that has to happen. So I think education is the big part of this, right? Because you can't completely cut kids and people off from these things, but I think they don't have that balance. And that's where people become obsessed with online life and video games and so forth. But if we had education and it's like, hey, you can play video games. I play video games from time to time. But is that how I spend my time? No, I want to be outside. I want to be in nature. I want to be playing sports and go play basketball, pick up basketball at the park. And things like that. I think many of you agree with me. So hopefully, we don't head to some dystopian world where we're all plugged in like the Matrix or something. But I think we all got to work to find that balance and figure it out. So while I am bullish on crypto and so forth, the metaverse does worry me a little bit because of the lack of education and our society not finding that balance, I think is the challenge. Anyway, guys, I get off my soapbox. What do you guys think about this news? Leave your thoughts and comments below. Hit the thumbs up button, and I'll talk to you all later.